Welcome to the Hip Hop Hustle podcast. We are back for another week. We're always here. And I'm extremely excited about my next guest, my current guest. Matias Brenman has come through, fantastic producer. And I found out about him because he's got music with a previous guests or guests of mine, the Twin Kings. So if you haven't checked it out, they've got a track together. It's called It Depends on How You Feel. And the instrumental is fantastic. The production on that is unreal. So, yeah, it's great to have you on the show.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
How does it feel like? Because you're based in Israel, but you're making music like with people who are on the opposite sides of the world. It must be so strange not growing up in a place and now you're connected with all these people around the world. Like, how does it feel? It must feel so strange.
It feels more amazing than strange because ever since I started producing, or like, when I was just learning to produce music, my dream was to produce to people that, are like English speakers or something like that. Because you always hear, the music I hear, like hip hop and stuff, I usually hear like hip hop in English. So it's like, it was always my dream to produce some tracks in English as well. Because, I'm based in Israel and everybody here speaks Hebrew. And like, if you try English here, it's kind of like, the accent is not there, or, the words and everything. So it just feels amazing that I got the opportunity to connect with other people all around the world. I also produce to like Argentinian artists. So it's like amazing for me that I got that opportunity to produce to people all around the world. It's like crazy. It's really amazing. Um, and that's what I always want. Like I wanted to be like worldwide producer. So I'm getting there.
You are worldwide. It's hard to disagree. You are worldwide. I mean, you're producing with people all over the world, but yeah, I mean, how does that dream come about? It's not like you're living in the mecca of hip hop. You're not exactly living in a place that's like, hey, let's look at this culture that's coming from the US. Like, how does that become a dream of yours? And then what makes you start going, you know what? I've got the dream. I'm going to start acting on it and I'm going to start moving towards it.
Yeah, so I've always been a musician since I was like 5 or something like that. I used to play the keys, like not professionally, yeah, but just for from ear. Um, and then I sang in a choir. And all my families and like musicians and everything. So like I was always around music. But when I go to like I don't know, like 15, I was 15 and all my friends started listening to hip hop and I fell in love with it because like it's special. It's like you got a vibe and it's more than just a song, it's like a culture. And I started listening to a lot of hip hop. Of course, like the main ones, the big ones, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, and everything. And I fell in love with it, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna, fool around in a garage band in my iPad and try to make some beats. And my friend, I did that, and my friend told me, you got some potential, take it like, more seriously. And I did. I downloaded FL Studio. It's a program for creating beats and music, and I started producing hip hop, and it became my dream to produce for other people and share my love for music and share my abilities with other people. And ever since it became a dream, like to work with people that are not in my place, because it's always easy to find people that are close by, because you can reach out more oftenly. But um, when it comes to people from the US, people from Argentina and stuff, it's more it's it got you feeling like it's special, you know, because it's not something you can achieve every day. And I'm very proud of the fact that I could do that. And yeah, it feels amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's very cool. I mean, like it's cool to be able to say that you're doing the things that you're doing and that you've started walking the path. How did your parents
Yeah.
react when you shared this dream? Because I'll tell you, I shared my dream of like podcasting and then talking to rappers and hip hop artists. And the
Mm.
reaction that I got was they honestly, they thought this was a phase. Number one, my love for hip hop, they thought it was definitely a phase that as soon as I became an adult, I would grow out of it. Turns out this phase has lasted a lifetime. But yeah, like what did your parents say like when you started and you're like, "Hey, I'm going to work with these artists in America?"
So my parents were always supportive of me. Like they always helped me and supported my music journey and everything. So when I told them that, they got excited and they told me, you know, I always thought you could do this and you could always be bigger and you can always achieve whatever you want and everything. Like they always supported me and that's I love my parents. Yeah,
Well, that is fantastic. That is great to hear. My
yeah,
parents did the same. Um, they were just worried when I was a young kid listening to 50 Cent
yeah.
on repeat and sleeping to the album. That's what made them worried more than anything else.
Yeah. That's fine.
Well, because I can
Yeah.
see who's that in the background in your poster behind you.
Got a look.
Oh, you've got a lot.
I got Tyler the Creator, Steve Lacy, Kanye West, Anderson Paak, another Kanye, Nas, and Tyler over there. And there I got yeah, I got a lot of stuff here. Like this is all my vinyls vinyls.
Yeah,
This
vinyls.
wait,
Yeah.
vinyls, exactly, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
let me
that's okay.
oh, it's a lot. This second. All
Well,
right, look. This is this is a little bit of them, and then I got like a lot more here.
I think you're. Oh, there it is. Now I can see it.
Yeah.
Damn, you are into it. I mean, no one can say you're not into it. Like you got the evidence. The posters are up. The vinyls are there. Well, let me
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you: if you got to produce for anyone, who would you like? If you could pick one that you could produce for and work with, who would that be?
Okay, I would like to work with a producer called Knowledge. It's not an artist, but he's crazy. Like I love that guy. Like he inspired me in so many beats I've made and so many like he opened my mind to new ways of creating music. Like he's crazy at what he does. He's a producer. He you know Mama by Kendrick.
Yeah.
He produced that track. So his beats are like incredible, and I'd love just even just to sit in a session with him and just watch. That would be amazing. But if I had to produce to anyone, I think Smino. Smino is an amazing rapper. He's uh, he's working a lot with Monte Booker, that is a producer. And he has like a special vibe to his songs. Like it's crazy. It's just you know it's amazing. So I would love to work with him. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome. When when you listen to beats and when you listen to other producers, what is it that stands out for you? I'm always interested in this because obviously you're used to listening to music all day, you're making your own music, you're listening to other people's music. Like, what is it that stands out? Like, what catches your ear first?
So first of all, good samples. Good producers know how to choose good samples for their beats and the samples that you know you can hear a song and if the beat is trash you won't like the song probably like you have to like the beat in order to like the song that's like how it is in most cases So when when I hear a song and I hear the beat, it's like, and if it's good, I'm like, wow, how did he do that? Like Knowledge has a way of sampling songs. Like, let's leave Knowledge for a second. Let's talk about Jay Dilla. He used to um sample his he used to choose a sample and sample his tracks by the drums of the sample. Like he used to chop like the snare, the kick, and everything, and just build the sound like he's playing the drums with the sample. I got the SP here. It's an instrument that Jay Dilla used to work with it, but in before a long time ago, right? Before, yeah. So this is one a little bit more advanced than what he used. So you sample the sample in here, and you start pressing the sample. So I press the kick here, the snare here, the hi-hat here, and he starts playing the melody like this, instead of just cutting the sample and looping it. So it's crazy. Like it gives a whole new sound, a whole new experience to the music. Um, like it's a lot. Every producer has his own sound. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of years of creating in order to get your sound there. So if you hear a track by Monte Booker, that's one of my favorite producers as well. You will hear that he's very bouncy. Like he has a bounce. Um, he's more focused, in my opinion, on the drums, because every track you hear, it's like, wow, the drums are crazy. So everybody has, I think, right, in my opinion, it may not be right, but I think everybody has a specific thing they're focused in, that thing is the best you'll hear in the song. You can hear the music and you can say, oh, the sample is crazy, oh, that's crazy, oh, that's crazy, but the drums are like the craziest part. So I think I don't remember anymore what the question was. I'm just speaking. But yeah.
Yeah.
But,
welcome to my life of just speaking. That's what happens typically when I talk to people. But it's funny because I've actually got not to the same extent that you have. I've got a bit of a setup, and I've got my own samples in here. And I've never pressed a sample in the show. Funnily enough, I forgot what they've got. Hold on, let's see. Pick up
Hip Hop Hustle Podcast, right. Man.
So did that come through for you? It came through for me. I've got, what else I've got Laffy. That's preset.
Y'all know what time it is.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, I put that in there. I should use those more. To be honest, I should open the show. I should open the show with.
Y'all know what time it is.
And then get into it. That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I got distracted. But anyway, so you were talking about sampling, because I find this so interesting as just a topic in general, because sampling, for anyone who isn't that familiar, is essentially taking music that's not your own or sounds that are not your own and chopping it up in a way that creates together a harmonious beat. Or a harmonious instrumental.
Yeah.
That's fundamentally what you're trying to do. But, it's pretty tough these days with sampling because of copyright. So what are your thoughts around, how to maintain kind of artistic integrity and not infringing on copyright, but still being able to sample good sounds?
So I think it's not a bad thing, actually, because if there was no copyright, I could just take a song and copy it, make it my own. But that's boring. Like, I would not like to call myself a producer when I just take a sample, add drums to it, and that's it. Like if that's okay to do sometimes, okay? Like everybody does that. But if you do that all the time, that's boring. Like you gotta, that copyright just gives you takes you out of the comfort zone and makes you, work on your sample more. Makes you take it to another level, because now you gotta take something and making something else. You don't have to take it and make it the same with drums. So that gives you a new way of looking into samples, because now you gotta take a sample and use, I don't know, reverse the sample, or like half time it, or chop it in a way that it won't trigger the copyright, or people will recognize it just by one note, or you gotta play all that stuff in order to make it interesting. So that's like a new way of like it's just a new way to create stuff, and it's crazy. I love it, because I love to take a sample and make it my own. I got a track called Supreme on it's available everywhere. I sampled Yesterday by the Beatles. If you hear that track, you won't tell me that's Yesterday by the Beatles. Like, no way.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's amazing. You can take whatever song you like, but as long as it's not the same song, and you just do something and made it like something else, it's cool. It's cool.
I think I remember from my time studying law, and I think I did copyright law for a little bit. I think there is something about likeness where, like, you can't have the essence of the song in there, or you can't have the essence of the sound. And it's all about making sure that, hey, like you said, if no one can recognize the sound or where this comes from, it's pretty hard to get into trouble, because everyone will listen to it and be like, I have no idea what that sounds is. And definitely something that my ear catches is heaviness of drums. Like, I think drum sampling is so important in hip hop, in production, and then like the way people do it and the way people find it. Like, my favorite producer of all time, no offense, Matias, you're gonna have to forgive me. It's DJ Premier is my favorite producer of all time. He's got a unique sound, but I've always admired his heaviness in the drums that he can get.
He had a show here in Israel like a year or two ago, something like that.
Did you go?
Yeah. No, but my friends did. I couldn't make it, but it was amazing. I saw some videos. It was crazy.
Yeah. I wish I could see DJ Premier live. I've seen, because I saw Royce da 5'9" live when he came out to Australia, and he got DJ Premier on like an iPhone. I was like, hey, check it out. So maybe that's second degree, but I would love to see him live. He's absolutely amazing.
You know who I saw live? Alchemist. He came to Israel. Yeah, he came to Israel. He had a crazy show. I got his shirt, like, no, his specific shirt, but they branded his shirt, so I bought one. And he also had a meet and greet, and he signed my bass guitar. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. If you ever like work with him, you'll be able to be like, hey, I was at one of your shows, you signed my bass guitar, and now I'm in the studio with you, working with you.
Yeah, that would be amazing, bro. I love him. He's amazing with samples. Like, he is one of the best I saw that handle samples. And he's also using a lot of producers nowadays use those machines, like the SP I showed you earlier. They all use that, like, they chop the samples over there. It's great. It's amazing. It creates it gives you more like because first of all, it's a sampler, so you got a lot of more possibilities to use. Like, when you use your software, you need plugins to sample your track, and you need to, you can't do everything you want with the sample, because like, you can reverse the sample, half time it, as I said, and everything, but the sampler gives you more effects, more ability to touch the sample in the smaller places of it. And you can also chop it in a more interesting way because he got like these pads over here, so you can just play the sample as you wish, and just if I put here the start and let's here the middle and here the end, I can start by the middle, then start the end, like um there's a lot of more possibilities you can do with this. And this is just, the SP, there's a machine it's a whole machine of like, you can just sample there. And a lot of producers use that, and it's you can hear it, like the difference between someone who uses just that and someone who doesn't. Like it's a little bit different. Like the beats are different, the samples are a bit like different. I'm not saying it's better, of course. There's like tracks that are better without it, or tracks that are better with it. But it just gives you a lot of more power when you sample stuff.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
so weird because this is like the new frontier, or a different frontier of music. Like being a DJ is so interesting to me because it's like you're
Yeah.
not playing an instrument, but you are in a way. Like
Yeah.
because you haven't made any of the music, but you have made all the music. Like it's weird. I don't know where it lies. I'm kind of like, where are you in the like you musician? Because you have to have some musical artistry, and you have to have some vision, and you have to have some ability to understand how sounds and songs and just instruments play together. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's not like you've played the sounds and then you're putting it together. So I don't know. I never know how to how to describe what DJs do, or because to me it's artistry, to me it's music, to me
Yeah.
it's incredible what can be done. But at the same time, I can understand people who are like, well, you don't really make your own music, so I don't know. I'm confused, is what I'm
So,
saying.
you know, DJs, in parties, no, but like usually, when you have your own set, you do make your own like music, and you do like DJ your own music. That's when you go here and hear some electronic music by a DJ, he's probably making that electronic music and it's just playing it for you. So it's really most of the DJs are producers as well. They all also produce their tracks and then they play it for the people. Um, that's that's usually how DJs work. There's a lot of DJs, you're right, that doesn't make their own music, but it's also not it's not that easy to mix songs together and just play them one after the other without sounding bad, it sounding bad. So it takes a little bit of artisticity, right? But
Maybe, but
still,
I think AI is going to make that different.
that could be crazy.
I mean, the
And
things that
AI,
AI can do right now, like it's not hard to
yeah,
essentially say, I don't see it as a stretch to be able to be like, to an AI to be like, hey, I have these 20 songs. Can you create a DJ set for me with the blends and the time? And it would be able to, I'm sure that will be possible sometime soon,
yeah,
the things that it can do right now. So I think it's important to have artistry now, because if you don't, you can be easily exported into the world of AI and just be replaced.
yeah, yeah. Um, I use AI sometimes as well. Let's say I'm on YouTube and I hear a song that has drums and a singer, and I just like the keys of the song. So in FL Studio, they did a stem player that you can just cut all the stems, and just if you want to leave the keys, you can, and that's all you're gonna hear. Um, so I just bless you. I just cut the keys and start sampling the keys, and then like it's without the drums, without the singer, without just the keys, just the part I like, and it's crazy. It's a new way of sampling. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's easier than what you, I'm sure, have done as well, which is get your vinyls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know. I think I do wonder where the world of music will go, just with the rate at which technology is evolving. Like,
Yeah. Um, I think, you can look at it, let's say hip hop. When hip hop just started, there was no beats like the ones you have today. Like all that I don't know, that Monte Booker sound, for example, all that new producers, they got a new sound because they use, the nowadays softwares and the plugins that we have today and everything. And you can listen to, I don't know, Pac or 50 Cent, and you can see that there's a difference between those beats and nowadays beats. Um, of course, the drill and everything is also new. Like it's amazing as well, and you wouldn't have heard that in, like, those days. So yeah, it's really interesting how it's gonna develop itself, but I think it will still remain, you know it will still, because those days and nowadays have in common that it's still the feeling of hip hop. No matter what, you can still understand it's hip hop. So I think no matter what will happen or how it will develop, it will still have that, culture vibe to it, like that hip hop vibe to it. So yeah. But it's really interesting, that AI as well, that's probably gonna make a huge difference and everything. And yeah, it's interesting. I would love to see how it develops as well.
are you more positive about it, or are you more pessimistic about AI and its future?
Um, 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 I don't know. Like, I'm positive about it because in one way you can use it for your own good, and you can, I'm starting my first title as a software engineer. So I plan on studying, the AI and everything. So I see it in a positive way as long as it doesn't become dangerous. Like when you have those movies that you see robots and AI killing humans, that's when it doesn't become positive.
Yeah. Well,
But
yeah. I, I it's I struggle to see a world where we don't misuse it. Like, I struggle to see
yeah,
a world where, like, humans get this unbelievable technology and we're like, we'll only do good things with it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
I
agree.
think we're still, the weird thing is about the the way we've evolved is that technology is well beyond the capacity of humans to
Yeah,
even understand. Like, the internet is
yeah,
confusing to us. Like, we haven't evolved. Technology's changed at a rate that is significantly above our evolution in terms of speed.
mhm,
So, like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around, like, what technology could be available and then how we will grapple with it and how we'll integrate it into society. I mean, the facts are you and I are across the world on a computer doing this. I've got my phone beside me. Like, when
yeah,
I was a kid, when I was growing up, and, I'm not that old, I'm only 30, but, like, it seemed like a future away. Like, it didn't seem like it would be around the corner. And now the things that I grew up with are so old that it's not funny. I remember the 94 Windows computers that we had. And I was pretty resistant to computers as a kid. I didn't like it, but yeah, I don't know. It's strange. It's interesting. It's scary, but it's also exciting. I hope, I
yeah,
hope that your positive outlook is the one that materializes.
yeah. Yeah, I hope it will all be okay at the end. You know, I
Yeah.
can say. Yeah.
Well, I think music is a great way to like create that positivity. I think it's weird with the effect music has on people. I don't think science really understands it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really special. Like I always I always felt like I play the piano. And every time I play the piano, I always feel like I'm sharing my emotions with everyone who hears it. So it's like a way of communicating. Um, like when you hear sad music, um, it makes you feel sad. Like it's a way of communicating his feelings to. Like he's saying, "I'm sad," and then you're sad too, right? So like it's a way of communicating. It's a way of sharing emotions, and it's amazing. It's crazy. It's yeah, really, it's really great.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
never
can,
thought about. Do you know what I've never thought about until this very moment? Until you practically
yeah,
said it was like you can share emotion without words, and you're essentially sharing emotion through tonality because it's like just a
yeah,
combination of sounds and tones and yeah, that's really weird to me. Of like, you don't need to say anything. It's purely the music. It's the expression of like just playing that makes you feel something. I think that is what's amazing to me.
yeah. But it's also all about like in music, yeah, of course. But it's also all about energy. Like for example, let's say uh there's two persons who can't talk, and you see one, and you care about each other, okay, and you see one of them is sad, like you see in his face, you can feel his energy. So you won't be happy too, right? You will be sad as well, kind of, or you will try to help him. So it's not only like a tone or music or everything. It's just a certain energy that comes with everything that we do and everything that we feel, that is like coming out of you and sharing it with the people around you. Because let's say you know uh Beethoven. Okay, Beethoven was deaf. He couldn't, like, not all his life, right? But when he started writing most of his piano work, he was deaf already. So he didn't, you know, hear or had any tones in his mind because he couldn't hear anything. He was just playing the piano and feeling the energy around it. So it's like, it's all about, I think it's all about the energy that you give to the surrounding. Um, and that's also music. Music is also sharing that energy with anyone who hears it. So that's my opinion about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a sharing of energy.
Yeah.
It but I guess the only thing is where I'm like, but it takes you more than one go to make music, right? Like the way music is made is you have your idea and then you make it and you feel it in the moment and then you're iterating on it and you're iterating on it. And part of me is like, well, how do you maintain the energy throughout the project? Because the sadness or the happiness or the joy or the anger, whatever it might be, the emotion that you feel at the time of the expression changes and becomes softer because time passes. Like, how do you maintain it throughout?
Um, there's there's before I answer that, I wanna actually say this. In production and in rapping and everything and singing, that's true because you have to write your song. But when you hear jazz, for example, you hear music that is played. Let's take jazz for example. You always will hear an improvisation. Now, improvisation is you taking what you feel and playing it in the first try. Like, you know, it's not going over it again and again. So it's like, it's easy for you to keep that energy and just showing what you really feel, because you know you don't go back and back and forth all the time with the song. You just play it once, and you know you make what you feel what you feel, and you make other people feel what you feel. And that's it. Like that's jazz, you know. Now when we talk about um you know, songs that are written and you have to record them again and again, it's just a matter of feeling. Because when I create a beat, for example, and I want to write to it, I get excited. I got a feeling of like, you know, that's it. That beat is sad, for example. I feel sad as well. Let's write sad, and you know, the whole vibe would be sad. Now, if I go back and record back and forth, like you know, record that again and again, it won't take that feeling away from me, because I still feel sad. You know, I still feel the feeling that the beat is giving me. I still feel that like everything I wrote. Um, but let's say if I would take a longer time to record that, like if I would make that sad beat, write those lyrics and record it half a year later, I wouldn't feel the same, because you know I'm in a different place. So it all depends in the place you are in my opinion. Because you know, if I now feel sad, and in a year I won't feel sad, and of course it won't be the same vibe and the same feeling, and probably I won't even record that thing. Um, so it depends on the vibe, on where you're at as a person and in your feelings at the same moment, and um, and just you know your creativity and you're willing to record that song. But as I said, like in jazz and everything, like it's probably improvisation, and you know it's not you know going back and forth all the time. So that's what one thing I like about jazz. I opened a YouTube channel, and I got a new series of videos that are called Daily Improvisations. Um, it's me playing the piano and just messing around, because um I know a lot of people that, you know, when you tell them, just for example, yeah, you play the piano, that's cool. You want to play for me real quick? And they like, nah, I don't know. I'm shy. I'm not good enough. I'm not that. I'm not that. So I'm just here, like in the video, I'm not showing you my best. I'm showing you my worst and how I get to my ideas. Like I'm showing you, you know, you don't gotta be scared. Like you can improvise and it's cool, and it can be shit and it can be good, and you know it doesn't matter as long as you know you're trying and you're doing it. Um, so I'm showing in that video, it's an uncut footage of me just you know improvising, and I don't know if it's gonna be good. I don't know if it's gonna be bad. I'm uploading it either way, because I want to show that no matter what, just do it. Don't overthink stuff. Like it's cool, you know.
Well, Matias, it's almost like we're kindred spirits, because this is how I run this show, which is improvised, no idea what's going to happen. And then, regardless of what happens, it comes out anyway. And then it's up for the audience to decide whether they like it or not. You know, I'm sure some
Yeah.
days it's better, some days it's worse. I think, I think that's part of it. Is like there are days where like I don't know what happened there, and then other days where I'm sure it's probably tight and it sounds good. So, yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think spontaneity and I think improvisation allows creativity to feel genuine. Um, it, and to be honest, like, you know, to be fair to, you know, this art form, all we're doing is
Yeah.
talking. So, I mean, I don't know about you. I have conversations every day. So I feel like,
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, it's only high stakes if you create high stakes. Like it's all in your mind.
Mhm.
Like, so you can either be relaxed and have fun, or you can take it ultra seriously and never enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Do you use your piano to make, like, help you create beats? Like, how does
Yeah.
the two overlap?
Yeah, sometimes I've got a few tracks where I recorded me playing the piano and I added it to the beat, and it's amazing. Like I got one song that is, it's called Baby Kim. I was it was like 3 years ago, something like that. I was just messing around with my friends. I made like two beats. We made a beat switch, and in one of them, no, in both of them, I played the piano, and it came out like it's one of the best trap beats I ever made. Like it's crazy, it goes hard. Like it's amazing. Yeah, I love. I used to. I play the bass as well, the bass guitar.
Oh,
You know,
really?
Alchemy signed it. Yeah, yeah. So I used to record myself playing the bass too. Um, Nowadays I create a different vibe, so I don't really do that. But sometimes, when I catch a vibe or make a beat that I could use those instruments, I do. So yeah, yeah,
Do you know, I have had a theory for a long time.
mhm,
Piano in hip hop beats is fantastic. It is
it's great.
so, so good. It's like
Yeah,
it contrast with the drums and the lightness of a piano. They really go hand in
yeah,
hand. And then if you can match and if the artist has the right vocal tonality, if they have the right depth, you're playing with fire. I think Mob Deep had amazing beats that used
wow,
piano. Like Hell on Earth, that album had such good instrumentals and it matched tonality so well. And I'm like, that to me is like the golden era. To me, that's how you do it. It's like an exact tutorial. This is how you make a simple, crisp, clean sounding beat that allows the rapper to do their thing and sound fantastic.
yeah. Piano is crazy. Yeah, I love it. Like it's an instrument that you can really use for everything. Like it's my favorite instrument. You can like sing to it, just play it as a solo instrument, just um, play with other people, play for a singer. I don't know, hip hop, R&B. Like there's real piano in everything you hear. Like or it could like you could record piano in everything you hear. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. I love piano, really.
Yeah,
And
because
yeah,
I
it's very
was
versatile.
sorry. Please
No,
continue.
yeah, no, I finished.
Yeah, because I interviewed, I think, what was his name? He was a New Zealand artist, Masbo Q. I interviewed him, and you'll see him on. You might see him on TikTok or YouTube Reels, and he does um, he like teaches you how to rap on different in different rhythms, like flow styles, and it's like a
Yeah,
2-3. I don't know. I can't rap, so me explaining it isn't great. But he's like the rap scientist or the rap architect. I forget how he goes, um, but when I interviewed him, I remember him talking about when he works with singers, and he was like, for you to learn the cadence and learn how to modulate what you're doing, he always recommended people to learn how to play the piano because it teaches you the basics of music theory and then how
mhm,
your vocal tonality works within a beat and how it works against a beat. And those things are critically important, especially when you're collaborating. So I found that fascinating. I never knew that how transferable the piano skill set is across all the forms of music.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really that. Um, yeah, I think playing the piano helped me as well with a lot of stuff. You know, when I went to music school, so when they teach you theory, for example, and they teach you triads, that's like a chord with three like tones, like I think in English it's still do re mi fa sol and stuff, or it's different.
I know. I think what you're saying makes sense. You're probably asking the wrong person. For a guy who has a podcast about music, I know very little about music theory. And whenever someone tells, as you can see by my Masgo by my Masbo Q little ramble there, that I'm just amazed when I learn anything about music theory, and I'm like, oh, really? So
yeah,
that what you said sounds right, but you're really saying it to the wrong audience. I'm not the authority on this.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, by playing triads, you know already how to write them, and what's the chord. So playing piano really helps you to understand everything. So yeah, that's it's really an amazing instrument.
How long were you in music? How long were you studying music for?
Studying music, I started I think 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and playing music, like singing and just playing for fun since I was 5.
Wow. Okay. So you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I'm 20. Yeah.
Well, 50, damn.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for making me feel very old.
No need. No need.
No
need for that.
Yeah, 20, man.
No, 30 is not old.
You say that,
Yeah, 30,
and then
30 is not old.
Yeah, no, 30 is not old, but the weird. Okay, so this is what makes me feel old. You were born after 2000.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes. I was born in 1994. How old does that sound?
Sounds old, but it's not like 30. That sounds old, but 30 is not old. Like I'm 20, right? And if you ask a 10 years old, he'd say it's old, but it's not old. Let's be like, it's just it depends on who you ask. Because if you ask someone who is, I don't know, beneath 18 years old, he's gonna say, yeah, that's old, that's old, that's old. And then you get there and you still feel like a child, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what makes it a little bit better is I've looked like this since I was about 16. So, I've just finally aged into who I've always been. So that's better. But yeah, it's just.
You can say you don't look a day past 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't look. I've yeah. Oh, I have an idea for what to say. I just can't frame it. Yeah. It's like I've aged 30 years in the space of 16 years. But I just remember at school everyone was like, there's no way you're 16. Like there's no way. I remember I started shaving. You're the opposite.
Yeah, no, now I'm not shaving. This is my not shaving. But yesterday I was it's funny because you get that there's no way you're 16. I always get that there's no way you're 20.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere without people. I went with friends to a bar and they said, yeah, sure, what you want? Yeah, sure, what you want? They go to me, can I see your ID? Yeah, like, you're 20, what the fuck? Yeah.
The fact that you get carded in Israel and I don't get carded in Israel is hilarious to me. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, sometimes when did I have to show ID last? I can't even remember, but I remember being personally offended because I'm like, look at me. There's no way. Like, look at me. Just don't. But I don't know. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to look young because, you're going to turn 50 and you're going to still look 25 and you're going to be like, well, this is the best thing ever. Whereas, you know, people who are like me, you just age. But actually, I have an okay complexion. Anyway, we're really diving deep into my insecurities, which I didn't expect to do on this show. But thank you. But yeah, it's cool talking to you, man. Like, it's cool to see, you know, what music can do and how it can affect people worldwide. You know, I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing. I'm sure you feel, as you said, you never, you know, it's been a dream of yours and now you get to make it a reality. But it's pretty cool how this music thing can bring so many people together.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Really unites everyone. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what we need. Well, speaking of, I actually only have one more question for you. It's the only question I plan on the show. So we were talking about improvising. This is not improvised. This is planned. It's probably the hardest question I'm going to ask you. But it goes as follows. If you had to recommend one album that everybody should listen to at least once to get an appreciation of, can be any genre of music, cannot be your own music, what would it be?
That's an interesting question. So, let me think.
You see, it's my best question. It's the only one. Maybe I should plan more questions because everyone's like,
oh. You see, I'm a guy that it's a hard question for me because I'm a guy who, if you like, I try to make my music very versatile because I try to reach everyone, like not just, you know, a certain, you know, I'm not putting me in a box when I'm just hip hop or just R&B or just that or just that. I'm trying to be everything. Like when I create an album, you'll hear there's probably at least one song you'll like, no matter what's your taste in music. So if I recommend an album, it's gotta be that too. You know, it can't be just hip hop. It can't be just that. It has to be, you know, include everything included. So it's really a hard question for me because
well, I will make it easier for you in the sense that it's not the best album of all time, but it's an album that you think everyone should appreciate. Everyone should listen to this at least once in their life. So it doesn't have to be your defining album, because let's be honest, that changes throughout time. But yeah, just an album that you think everybody should listen to and appreciate.
All right, I think Graduation by Kanye, and I'll explain why. Now, there is I think there is a song over there that probably everyone would like at least one, you know, because first of all the beats there are amazing, like incredible. He's one of the best producers to ever exist, in my opinion. Second of all, the bars are amazing as well, and there's also some parts where he's like singing a bit or kind of singing, you know. So I think that would be an album I'd recommend. Like, you know, that everyone should listen to because it's really creative, it's really nice, and it has like certain vibe that, you know, no matter what or who you are, you'd probably like at least one song over there. That's my opinion. So yeah.
Well, I got to say, it's hard to go wrong with Kanye Graduation as an album pick. It is iconic. It is classic as a hip hop album. And man, I'm looking forward to seeing the work that you come out with. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, hopefully you get to create a classic album, and I'm talking about this when I'm 40 with another 20-year-old, and I'm like, I remember the day that I interviewed Matias for the first time, and we were talking about when he was 20, and then you'll get to feel how I feel. But man, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. It's genuinely really exciting for me to be able to speak to artists such as yourself who are, pushing the boundaries in terms of trying to evolve and trying to connect with so many people. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing you continue making music on your journey. But yeah, is there anything you wanted to shout out? As I said at the start of the show, Matias Brenman is his name. But yeah, man, is there anything you wanted to shout out? Anything you wanted to plug?
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you too. It was a pleasure. Amazing podcast. Very fun. I enjoyed it very much. Now for the shoutouts. 2 days ago, like 4 days ago, I think, I released a new album, 9 songs. It's 7 flips and 2 beats. Now a flip is something I personally love to do. You know what a flip is?
No.
So a flip is when you take a song and make it it's kind of a show off for producers, because you're it's like a statement saying you're better than the producer who produced the song. So you kind of take the vocals from another song you like and put it in your own beat and release it as your own. It's kind of like
Oh yeah, I
copyright
think
stuff, but without
yeah. I think I was
yeah
because I was looking at your SoundCloud, and I think you
yeah
did it with Action Bronson,
yeah
Rome Streets, I think.
yeah I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have seen a couple. I was wondering about that. So now I know what it is.
Yeah, so it's just a way of me showing my versatility and like my skills, and saying like, you're a big artist, look how you sound on my beat now. you know. So yeah, I released a new album of flips. I have 2 now on Spotify, and it's every like, every flip there is amazing. Like I really love that. I got on both of my albums, I got a Bruno Mars song, a Travis Scott, a Prodigy one, Freddie Gibbs, and like, I really it's crazy. Now I don't gain any money from it, so it's not really stealing song, right? It's just, just me showing off. But yeah, I love doing that. It's like giving you, when you make a beat, it's like making it whole because you make that beat for someone and putting that, doing that flip makes it really whole. So I I love releasing flips and it's amazing. So shout out FLP2, Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere, and FLP1. So yeah, shout out. And I also got a new song that it's not really new now, but it's like a month ago, something like that. It's called Beautiful Stars. I produced it all. I sang it by myself, wrote the lyrics, and it's in English. Really recommend listening to that. So yeah, thank you, bro.
There we go. Love it. Check it out. I'm sure there will be a volume 3 and much more music. As I said, Matias Brenman came through. This was awesome, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this again soon.
Oh, thank you, bro. Appreciate you.